Hi, I'm Alex Staniforth. I'm an adventurer, author, speaker and a proud ambassador for YHA. I live in Cheshire and my passion is to inspire others to overcome their own Everest in life. I was born in Cheshire, so not really in the mountains, not really with an outdoor influence, and so my journey begins in adversity as a child, suffering with epilepsy, which was only mild and soon brought under control, but combine that with a stammer, badly bullied throughout my entire time at school, and so not really having any confidence, any self-esteem, not really fitting in, and so wouldn't have really imagined where I'd end up now. And it was actually a very poignant moment at 14 when I was invited hill walking in the Lake District with a friend. Something I hadn't really done before, not having confidence to do, and it just had a real life-changing impact because it gave me the chance to see things in a different way and think bigger than I could in the classroom. And with my early adversity in life, it gave me a way to really fight back and prove myself and prove all those bullies wrong in the outdoors, the mountains, with that challenge. And that was when the idea of climbing Everest came to me as a young man, and seeing a photo of Everest and just deciding that one day I would climb it. And then as my passion for the outdoors grew and grew, I took more and more steps, grew more competent, my confidence built, I got involved in fitness, and now the outdoors was my life. And I never imagined that 4 years later I would have actually been standing at Everest Base Camp itself about to achieve my dream. And with YHA, my link now really is that I want to help more young people go on the journey that I've been on, which has simply started with one opportunity. And now when I go back to Snowdonia, I'm hill running up it on my own, not on a class school trip, but that's how it all started. And whenever I come back to a youth hostel now, I'm excited to explore it. I'm excited to have those same experiences, and just whether that's cycling or hill running in the mountains on my own, YHA is still my escape. And from a mental health point of view, that's something that affects me and affects many young people. I think the outdoors is an incredibly powerful weapon against that, and want to help more people discover that. I love exploring the new hostels, but I think if I had to choose one favourite, I'd say Penny Pass in Snowdonia. It's near to where my Everest journey started, and I think every time I go there, it's away from phone signal, it's away from the world, you're up in the mountains, and you can really get a proper escape. I don't think I have one particular role model. I'm inspired by anybody who's achieved something massive, especially the everyday people who have had their own adversities to face, like myself, and I really want to be a role model for people myself. But if there's one, I'd have to say it was Bear Grylls. I think because the fact he summited Everest at 23, having broke his back 18 months earlier, was a real glowing light for me when I had my own injury and didn't know whether I'd ever train again. Gave me that hope to keep on going. And of course our very own Chris Bonington, and everything he's achieved in the mountains has been really inspiring as well. I think the most important thing the outdoors has taught me about life in general. It's taught me so much, and that's why I think the outdoors is so valuable for young people. But I think it's taught me to be resilient. It makes you so much more tolerable to everyday life and everyday challenges. And when you've been in bad conditions, you're tired, you're scared, you're stressed, you're exhausted, you feel out your depth, you kind of have to overcome that problem, and it's overcoming that problem by yourself, finding a solution, pushing yourself, I think is a really positive mental kind of change, and you learn something from that, and life as a result becomes so much more fulfilled. Again, very hard question. I think I would say don't be afraid of failure. Failure is nothing compared to our response, and as I've seen in the last few years, sometimes we don't always have control over what happens, like happened on Everest with the avalanches and the earthquake. But with the right mindset, failure is fuel to keep on growing, keep on learning, and keep coming back stronger.